we can go through the roll call anyway. I'll call to order meeting of the Tremont Planning Board for May 26th. We can go through the roll call anyway. And we'll start with roll call. We call to order meeting of the Tremont Planning Board for May 26th. Scott, 2026. Stephen Scott, and start with Renee Hodge. Roll call. We are present here this evening called with higher duty. With Scott. Stephen Scott, but he will be missed. And we, for the record, we thank him for his service. He's been called to higher duty. So all on the board are present, but he will be missed. And we, for the record, we thank him for his service. So all on the board are present. Issue with the agenda, or anything they're looking to add or agenda. Does anybody have any? No. Take a motion to adopt the agenda to add or remove, draft it. Any changes?
I didn't have, I'll make a motion to.
No. Take a motion to adopt the agenda as drafted. Do I have a second? Motion and a second to adopt the agenda as drafted. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Do I have a second? Motion and a second to adopt the agenda as drafted. Moving on to the minutes. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? April 28th, 2026. Moving on to the minutes. Did anybody April 28th, 2026 there see any issues with the draft minutes? Have any changes there? See any issues with the draft minutes? Take a motion. To adopt the minutes as presented. To adopt the minutes as presented. A motion have a second?
I'll second the
A
motion.
motion have a second? Motion and a second to adopt or accept the minutes of the 2026 meeting.
Oh, excuse me.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? That's good. So we will move on to old business, and we have first on the agenda, and this is for I believe it's a public hearing and substantive review as well. And the first on the agenda is the an amendment to a previous approved subdivision, reconfiguring lot lines between lots 3 and 5 on 27 and 34 Burnt Hill Road. We have Mr. Benson here as the applicant's representative. Should I first open a public hearing and just see? Yeah. So as a first matter, I will, let's see, what time is it here? At 6:02, open for any public comment or questions, public hearing on the applicant, Thomas Benson, for owners Michael Farley and Eric Banda for 2734 Burnt Hill Road. Do we have?
Ladies and gentlemen, one person at a time.
That's a good thing.
Do you have anything that you'd like to add for the record, Mr. Benson? Nothing at this point. Let the record reflect there are no people from the public here, so with that, at 6:03, I will close the public hearing on the application related to 2734 Burnt Hill Road, and we can move to substantive review of the application. Okay. And so what I'm going to do now is I will, Andy's prepared a draft decision, and it, beginning at the bottom of page 1, and then moving on to multiple page 6s. Did you see that? It does walk us through the substantive requirements. I think a lot of this is probably not going to be applicable given the nature of the proposal here, but we will go down through it. And so the first item for review is pollution and whether we feel that the proposed development will or will not result in undue water or air pollution. And the question is whether that's, met, whether the applicant has addressed that, or whether it's applicable, or whether we think that anything as part of the proposal will have an undue impact on water and air pollution. I personally feel like it's probably not applicable. Because they're not actually doing anything, other than moving, let's see. Could just reconfigure lot lines, right, Tom?
This one is just reconfiguring lot lines.
That's right. Sufficient water, any thoughts on whether it impacts sufficient water?
So, we're only talking about lot lines, not
That's
the
right.
fact if there's buildings there that, we don't talk about that at all. Does that ever get talked about?
So that would be something that would be reviewed
If-
when someone applies for a building permit for a building. So you basically are just simply thinking, does relocating
Lot
this
lines.
lot line
Yeah.
Affect any of this?
affect?
I mean, I think I'm gonna go right down through, I'm on call it the second page. Does anyone think that the sufficiency of water, municipal water supply, erosion, traffic, sewage disposal, municipal solid waste, aesthetic, cultural, natural values are impacted by this, or, this proposal, implicates any of those factors? I would say no. I would say not applicable. Moving on to the second. So I do think conformity with local ordinances and plans, I think as a, we would look at that and just ensure, I guess, that the reconfiguration of the lot lines doesn't somehow violate some other ordinance, I don't know, spaghetti lots or something. You could try to, so I would think we would address this one. I would find it to be
It's
met.
been met, right?
Yeah,
we-
yeah. Financial technical capacity, I think that's probably met. Does anyone disagree with that? Mr. Benson here, groundwater, flood areas, freshwater wetlands, I think not applicable. Nope. Yeah, surface waters as well. Applicable. Farmland, river, stream, or brook, stormwaters, not applicable. I guess spaghetti, is it even on the, is spaghetti lots, is that on the, is that a coastal?
Shoreline.
It's a shoreline, right? We're not there, right? So it's not applicable. Spaghetti lots not applicable. Lake phosphorus concentration not applicable. Impact on adjoining municipality, I don't think that's applicable. Subject to liquidation harvesting. That's not been harvested. Has there been any harvesting there at all?
No.
I think it's not applicable. So moving on to subpart 3. Man.
This has nothing to
It's
do with lot
nothing to
lines.
do with lot lines. I think everything on under 3, water supply, surface drainage, sewage disposal, monuments, impact on groundwater, land features, access control and traffic impacts, retention of open spaces is not applicable. Does anyone disagree or feel differently? Or feel like we should address something with it by a lot line change?
For a lot line change.
Doesn't really impact traffic patterns at all. Now I see you've got a note here, I think, Angie, highlighted in yellow, about maximum lot coverage. And you said not provided. Was that a flag for us?
It just, I couldn't really give you that information because it wasn't on that plan. I don't know if Tom can talk about lot coverage on these 2 lots.
I didn't look at it. What is your percentage?
25.
I don't see as it's close.
It's only buildings. I don't think you
Yeah,
have 25%.
Just looking at it, on lot 5, you have a house and I did not look at it, I'm just,
Yeah, yeah.
Lot three, you have to have 12,000 square feet of buildings on there to.
Had to exceed 25, there's no way we've got that, right? There's no way close. Okay.
I can look at it while you guys are going through the rest.
Okay. Is there any rest for us to go through? I don't think so, no. No, there's no construction plans there, is that would be not applicable as well. Assuming that we are comfortable, which I think we will be with the long coverage issue, does anyone have any other issues with this?
No.
Okay, so I will. What do you think, Tom? Are you,
Lot five's got around 2,000 square feet of building coverage. You said 12,000.
Lot five would be about 10,000 allowed, and lot
Well,
three
okay.
would be 12,000.
2,000.
okay. Okay, I'll take a motion. To approve the application or deny. I'll take a motion.
Make a motion to approve the application as
Second.
submitted.
I have a motion and a second to approve the application for the project at 27 and 34 Burnt Hill Road. The owners Michael Farley and Eric Banda to reconfigure lot lines 3 and 5. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Okay. All right, so now we are moving on to Starry Nights Lane, property owner Nicholas Politor, applicants, again, Thomas Benson. And I will, at 6:12, open public hearing for any public comment on the, let's see here, proposed amendment to a previously approved subdivision by dividing 6 lots comprised of 3.02 acres into 3 separate pieces, each lot containing 40,000 square feet at Starry Nights Lane. Any public comment?
No. No, they're quiet
Let the
today.
record reflect there are no persons here from the public and no one making any comment. With that, I will close the public hearing at 6:13. The property at Starry Nights Lane. And we can move to substantive review. And so, Tom, just to refresh my recollection, so it was an approved subdivision, lot 6, Mr. Parlachero owns, and it, in total, lot 6 is roughly, I don't know, 9 acres, so you're further subdividing lot 6 into 3 lots, is that essentially what's going on?
Nine, lot 6 was 3.02.
Okay. So it's not, okay, yeah, my math is way off. So you're taking 3.02 and dividing it into roughly 1 acre lots. Is that, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. All right. No proposed buildings or anything like that at this time.
No.
So again, I'm starting at the bottom of page 1. Pollution, water, air, sufficient water, municipal water supply, erosion, traffic, sewage, municipal, aesthetic, cultural, natural values. I don't think any of that's applicable. Does anyone? Yeah, it's not applicable. I think I and J, conformity with local ordinances and financial and technical capacity are met. Does anyone disagree with that?
Yep.
Surface waters, groundwater, flood areas, freshwater wetlands, not applicable here, it's already a subdivision. Farmland, river, stream, brook, stormwater, spaghetti lots, lake phosphorus, impact on the municipality, liquidation harvesting, not applicable. We did not look at water supply, surface drains, sewage flow, monuments, land features, access control, condition, so not applicable, including no construction in place, not applicable, so proposed. Okay, so we'll be back for more of the last one. Does anyone have any questions or concerns or anything for the applicant, for Mr. Benson? No? Well, I will then take a motion to approve or deny the application.
I make a motion that we approve it.
Have a second? Have a motion and a second to approve the application for an amendment to a previously approved subdivision by dividing lot 6 in, up on Starry Nights Lane, currently comprised of roughly a little over 3 acres in 3 separate pieces, each containing at least 40,000 square feet. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Loon Lane.
One thing I would just point out was since I wrote this decision, Tom corrected an error on one of the map and lot numbers on the plans, so the plan is now dated.
Is that what's on our desk?
It's dated
Okay.
21st, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's minor.
What was the change?
I think just the lot number is wrong.
On lot 1 and 2, I had the incorrect lot, tax map and lot. I had the right map, but I had the wrong lot.
Okay, so we now have before us application property owner of Loon Lane LLC. Again, it's a previously approved subdivision, and it's proposed to remove 2 rights of way and adjust lot lines to modify the size of each. I guess with that, at 6:18, I will open a public comment, a public hearing on the application by the owner of Loon Lane. Public comment? Seeing none, let the record reflect there is still no one here from the public to make comments, and as such, I will close the public hearing. Okay, so basically, trying to, I guess, manage traffic, is that part of what's going on here? Or manage access to the property?
Yeah, most the reason he wanted to reconfigure it, he did not want to build the road across lot 4 or the lot lane. If you look back to your original subdivision.
And lot 4 is the one that has the house already on it.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Had it
Ocean-
Ocean Bluff or something? Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Ocean View Road, he did not wanna go across that lot. In the Bluff Road, he preferred to just come in through the existing road that's built, that's now called Acadia Tides Lane. So that will access, 1, 2, 3, and 5. So that one road will.
It's already existing road.
It's existing, yes, down to the parking area. He does have a deeded right of way over to lot 5, the idea is he rents these, they'll park and then walk to, lot 5 and lot 1. Not cross right now.
Okay. So let's look at this again, I guess, from the perspective of substantive review. And again, I guess I'm struggling with where this has any impact on water or air pollution, or it impacts water supply, erosion.
A lot line, just.
Yeah. Right, sewage disposal, municipal, I mean, does anyone think we need to talk about traffic at all?
I live on Ridgetown, and there'll be more traffic. We're not happy about this.
Oh, really? Okay. But that's already been, I mean, that was part of the subdivision approval, right? Yeah.
Yes.
No,
Yeah,
we've
where
already-
any change is not gonna affect
Yeah.
traffic any.
I know it's right, yeah, it's not, I guess, you know, I guess I wasn't thinking about a macro level, I was thinking, you know, traffic on the property, but I don't know that that's even something we would, it's not like it's like a campground or something.
So wouldn't that be, like, if he wanted to build, then wouldn't that come into
Yeah, highway or
effect?
public
I mean,
road, so it's not really gonna impact, this is not gonna impact the traffic on a highway or public
Right,
road.
No,
Okay, so I'm
the
gonna,
lot line changes enough.
Right.
No, it would be the next step, yeah.
so pollution, NA, sufficient water, NA, water supply, NA, erosion, NA, traffic, NA, sewage, municipal solid waste, acidic cultural, natural values, NA. I think I and J are probably met, unless someone thinks there's any issue with changing the lot line.
I don't think by just changing a lot
Yeah,
line, it's
no.
going to,
Okay.
No.
I'd say it's been met.
Surface
Right.
waters, NA, I think it's met, so the I and J are met. Surface waters, groundwater, flood areas, freshwater wetlands, NA. Farmland, NA. River stream brook, NA. Stormwater, NA. Spaghetti lots, not applicable. Phosphorus concentration, not applicable. Impact of adjoining municipality, not applicable. Prediction harvesting, not applicable. And then in section 3, water supply, not applicable. Surface drainage, not applicable. Sewage disposal, not applicable. Monuments, not applicable. Impact on groundwater, not applicable. Land features, not applicable. Access control and traffic patterns, I think it's not applicable. And then open spaces and natural historic features, not applicable. And we are back where, okay, so we've got a lot coverage highlighted, not provided.
But it noted on, lot cover.
Yeah, maximum lot coverage.
I assume you would have taken that up when you did it.
When they got the, does that,
All over 10,000 square feet is allowed in 11 and 13, these little.
tiny little buildings, okay. Okay, alright. What's this? I know what this is. Take a motion to approve 39.
I make a motion to approve it,
Yeah. Motion to have a second?
I'll second.
A motion and a second to approve the application to a previously approved subdivision by eliminating two rights of way, Bluff Road and Ocean View Road, and adjusting lot lines for lots 1, 2, and 3 to modify the size of each. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed?
Is that, I, no.
Here goes 4. 3.5 thousand? Okay. You just do that now, yeah? Okay, yeah, we've got, thank you, Tom.
Got a pen right here. Have to reply.
You guys got it?
Oh.
Just sign everything? Bottom, what is it?
26.
my anniversary today.
What's that?
My anniversary today.
Oh, why did let you come over?
52 years.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
Make my signatures different every single time.
Keeps them guessing that way.
She can be different places every single time. I think I got them all. Next.
You want me to just start? You want me to wait for everybody?
Go for it.
We all have to sign it?
Sign
We
this.
can look together.
We do?
What's that?
We all have to sign it now?
Yep.
Oh, we
All
do.
of you sign it. So yeah, I started working on land use ordinance amendments now that our the last round of 4 passed.
Yep.
So I just, in June, I'll bring you, some draft orders to look at and start working on, but I just thought it would be helpful to, so we can see what I'm working on right now. The first one I think is pretty simple. The appeals board has expressed concerns, or at least the chair mentioned to me that the ordinance in 2 places uses the terms light commercial and limited commercial, but yet we don't define that, and I think they may have struggled with that a little bit, maybe with the campgrounds. So I think it would be in the best interest of the town to just remove the word light and to remove the word limited. We define commercial, a table of uses, list uses. I don't think we need to say light or limited. So I think that's an easy one. I think we can just, it's literally in 2 places in the ordinance and that's it. It's non-maritime limited commercial uses are allowed in commercial fishery, and then limited commercial in light commercial in the residential business zone, which the table says without commercial, so I don't know why it says light commercial, so.
And what is the,
It's up there. It's-
You've been through this with the light before, right?
Yeah, so it just creates ambiguity and confusion, we just, I think,
So commercial is defined now?
yes, commercial,
commercial use?
yeah, this commercial is defined, but not light
Minimal?
commercial or limited.
Yeah. Boy, is that gonna be interesting though. That's gonna cause people to really look at the,
Well, then they should
right, I know.
adjust the table to say these are what types of light uses we are talking about, because that's, the table says commercial is allowed.
Is that what the table says?
Yeah, and, I think that discussion might have been a little bit of a stretch, because it was sort of the purpose of the residential district, it wasn't really the regulatory language that says, this is what's allowed, this is how we define it, so. Maybe it'll be a bigger issue than anything.
Well, I think so the table, I I feel like that was created after, like that was like, somebody tried to create like a short, like a quick reference guide. And we found a lot of issues with it.
Yeah.
And then, I guess my point for saying that is I would not think that the table would drive, if there was a conflict between the table and the language in the ordinance, I would say the table would not govern the language of the ordinance. But I don't know, we'll see, I just know that, you know, in the RB zone, you know, we debated a lot of that a lot.
Right. Didn't we go through with the light and the limited?
We did, I think we did.
We did,
And
yeah.
ultimately, you know, we decided it needed something. Like, I think I remember saying, you can't put a paper mill there, right? Or it's not like you can't, like, you know, it's gotta be, you can't, or like a Walmart, you know? But I think if you take that light out, I think maybe you could. Like, if you just look at commercial use, it's the use of the property to sell goods and services to generate income.
Pretty vague.
That's it.
Yep,
So you could put a Walmart.
yep.
So the light, I don't know, the light limited, I don't know, maybe we should take a crack at defining it, because I think if you take it out.
Yeah, because you also have industrial uses,
Yeah,
which I think would, you know, that,
would that be Walmart?
well, no.
Dunkin'
That's
Donuts?
assembling, fabrication, finishing, manufacturing.
Yeah, okay, so you can't, paper mill would be different, but
No paper mill's gonna come to Tremont.
like, I don't know, I just, you know, we should definitely talk about it. I just think, because I there are, if the folks that came out against the campground had their convictions, and they, and understandably, you know, and they made some, you know, I mean, we listened, they made some decent points, you know, in the RV zone, I think the people buy property in the RV zone, certainly not the way the code was written with light, you're not thinking that someone's gonna put up like a gas station next door.
Right.
And I think that you could if we did that, and I just don't, like, ugh, I just don't know, I don't know. We'll think about it.
I like light and limited being.
I mean, you can, like, the light is like one of the, it's like, it's a tough one, I know it's subjective, you know? But you know, you kinda know when you, I mean, maybe we could put some meat on the bones of the definition.
Yeah, I think if you wanna make sure you don't have things like Walmart, there's a different way to do it.
Do it.
Yeah, because,
The history, I heard the history is when, you know, when they split Southwest and Tremont, Southwest got the town, Tremont got the roads, and there was a desire to have some ability for people to have a business in the RV zone. And, you know, now I think it's, which I think's great, we should, but I think we just have, if RV is the same as like any commercial, I think people, I don't know if that's gonna fly. I think it'd be great, but I think people are gonna be like,
People would be upset. Yeah.
I don't know, so I think the light did something. It gave the board a little bit of a, you know, ability to say, that's a little too much.
Yeah.
But it's really subjective, and I know someone could appeal it and say it's arbitrary and capricious. You know, when it can enforce that, what the heck does that mean? So we'd have to probably do something about it.
What's the difference between a road?
Yeah, right. So, anyway, that's going to be an interesting one. So, okay, yeah.
All
So,
right, so that might not be as easy as I thought then.
Right, DEP might come into a light would not require a DEP permit, whereas a commercial
would
would, and
Well,
I mean,
the other use under the limited is in the commercial fishery maritime, so I'll have to look and see, do they use that word in DEP guidelines, or
yeah.
did that just get added here?
I think someone was trying to do something where they were trying to create a sliver that's more than the home occupation, but it's not like full blown any kind of like commercial. You know, I think that's what people were trying to do. It's my guess with the lake commercial.
Yeah, I mean, right now, it seems to me it's pretty wide open.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. The next one was, living shorelines, and I've been approached by both Climate to Thrive and the Sustainability Committee requesting consideration that we add some language to encourage people to use living shorelines instead of hard armor. Typically, with shoreline stabilization, most people use riprap, and they would like to see a suggestion in the ordinance that we encourage people to use living shorelines if possible.
What about Mother Nature? I mean, Mother Nature eliminated the living shoreline 2 years ago.
It took down buildings that had been standing for.
Yeah.
So, I don't see we can do that. So, I'm working with Nathan Robbins, who's a specialist at EEP, and he works with these things just to understand. I don't think any other town or city in the state has adopted any language yet. It's going to be mostly just guidance and encouragement to say, hey, here's something you can consider. It's not required, but I guess people will feel better about it. So.
Personally, I think we should probably just I don't want to say just do it because, you know, we can talk about it more. It's not going to be required, right? It's not a committee.
Right, it's not, I had some very loose language that just said to, you know, protect the shoreline, it's encouraged that you try and use living shorelines. So it's not mandatory at all, so.
And would insurance companies even want that done?
I think it might be more of a bigger thing down in southern Maine. I don't know, I haven't seen anything there.
Yeah, I did see actually the other day. There's one of the islands there. I think out in Casco Bay, like Peaks Island or something. People were they were planting all these little trees to try to, you know, firm things up. I'm not sure it works when you've got it. But it feels like it's more aspirational than so. Sure.
Yeah. We can really help their people. The next one is the Board of Appeals have been developing rules and procedures so they can run their meetings more efficiently and establish some standards for application submissions and meeting procedures. So in working through that with them, I discovered the Appeals Board ordinance is a mess. So it should be updated to better align with their rules and to organize it in a more logical manner. And there's a lot of inconsistencies, and it seems like certain ordinances have been incrementally evolved over time, and it just results in kind of an unorganized document. So it's really just to clean up, just kind of getting things reorganized, say the same things in different places.
Mhm.
The land use ordinance says one thing about appeals, and then the appeals ordinance says something different, and anyway, so that wasn't real high on my list of priorities, but the more I've been working with it, it should be. The other one that I think is a big one, and I think tonight was a good example of that, is as I've been preparing decisions and findings of facts, I'm finding what the board requires someone to submit for completeness has absolutely nothing to do with the findings that you have to make. And so you're trying to make findings when you haven't received information.
Right.
So I wanna take site plan out of its own ordinance and put it back in the land use ordinance. Those two ordinances also conflict. And you're looking at a whole bunch of requirements in your land use ordinance, and then you go over your site plan ordinance and you start reviewing many of the same things all over again. It's a waste of your time and the applicant's time, and, again, I think it got moved out, and then one thing gets changed over here, and we just don't find it. Also, Jesse had suggested that the board might consider, minor subdivisions would not come to the planning board, so that could be done in-house. So if you're not creating new lots, but you're just adjusting
lot
lot
lines?
lines.
Lot lines, yeah.
Lot lines?
That would just be done.
That would be
as a
wonderful.
minor.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's really a waste of time to do it this way, but.
Does that fall under in your state ordinance? I know the state ordinance has a section for amended subdivisions.
Yep, I think you would still just have to follow the same requirements, and you still have to take it to the registry, and you still have to, because it's what we do in Bar Harbor, you don't have to have planning board approval, you're just moving a lot line, or changing a covenant, something simple. Yeah, so, I think that would be, that one is pretty high on my priorities, because it's really painful to try to put together these decisions, and
Yep.
for you guys too. Then the two big ones are LD 1829, which is the statewide legislation to address the housing shortage. That was requiring the ADUs in all areas where single-family housing is, increase residential density in designated growth areas, and that's looking at like 3 or 4 dwelling units per lot. So that's a huge increase. Require municipalities provide density bonuses for affordable housing, more streamlined review processes for qualifying projects, changing the subdivision. So instead of 3 lots, or 3 houses in a 5-year period, it will now be 5, so people don't have to go through that extra step. So also, the state has now introduced LD 2173, which is making changes to 1829. So we haven't even begun implementing 1829, and they're already making changes to it, which obviously complicates it a little bit more, and feels like it's just a moving target. So originally, I had anticipated having this for November, but I think I'd rather just see how it goes. We have until July of 2027 to get this done, so I'd rather stretch it out to May if I have to and make sure it's done right.
Because I'll probably keep making
Yeah, I don't
changes to this, right.
Yeah. And actually, I have a meeting tomorrow, and there's a training on this, so maybe something new will come out of it. And then, go ahead.
Yeah, I gotta look into it. I'm just curious. This is probably not a very good question, but does any of these density laws that were and now are going to require more density, would they prohibit or allow someone to then create just like a cluster of Airbnbs, or does somebody have to live in them, or like how does it? Around here, I could see it being turned into like
Right.
Airbnb
I've already
cluster.
seen, so.
Well, that's
But
segues right into my
the
next.
affordable housing thing is we need housing for people here. I mean,
Right.
yeah,
Well,
I mean,
it's-
that, you know.
I brought this to the select board last week and just told them about LD 1829, and they have decided they would like to see the town work on short-term rentals at the same time.
You mean limiting?
Yeah. And
I mean, you know,
I think they
managing.
took.
Managing.
I liked their approach that they,
We tried to just get data and people said no.
I know. They want to allow residents to be able to have a short-term rental, but they don't wanna see,
Right.
people from out of town buying up housing stock and
And doing that, right.
And they're also concerned about some of the long-term rental, developments that we have now being bought up and converted and, those long-term tenants being displaced. So, I thought they took a good approach. They do not want something overly complicated. They don't want, I guess the last round there were a lot of rules and requirements, and I think they want this to be as, low-key as possible. So their plan that they wanted to sort of move forward was for them to sort of develop the broader policy and then to give that to you to sort of work out the ordinance language and some of the more, the details of it. We really, I think we're concerned about preserving long-term housing, and protecting any future housing that might come with this living density requirements and being turned into short-term rentals, but also recognizing residents use that as a means to supplement their income or be able to afford to live here, so giving them an opportunity to do it. So I would say LD 1829 and short-term rentals would be more of something for May, but I think it will take this whole year to work on to get to May. The other ones won't be quite as contentious.
Good.
So LD 1829 wants us to build houses.
Yeah.
Is there any point where water is a concern?
So there's some thing I don't like about LD 1829 is it's a one-size-fits-all, so it's kind of the same for everybody across the state. So if you're on sewer and water, they said, okay, this is how many you get. If you don't have sewer and water, there's not quite as much, but if you're in a designated growth area, which we have a lot of designated growth areas here, you can have more. So obviously you would have to demonstrate that you have adequate water and septic, but,
Or that we don't?
or yes, that you don't, but I still think you could see a lot more density than what you have now. And you also can't put additional restrictions on, you can't say you need 50 feet of road frontage for each dwelling. You can only apply what you need for a single family home to that development, so.
So not the same guidelines.
Right, you can't make it difficult to add more housing. Yeah. So, wow, there's a lot to do.
Short-term rental, it was right
Yeah.
man before. Right, we couldn't even get him to do a survey to
No,
fill
we
out
wouldn't.
And the town voted no. I mean, the people voted
People
no.
voted
None of your business. None yet.
I know.
I'm hoping that maybe that was the result of it being too overly restrictive.
Restricted,
Yeah, and that if it's.
make it more simple.
Right.
I'm trying to think how long that thing was. It was like 3 or 4 pages, maybe 3 pages.
I pulled it out and read it, and it was a lot.
Yeah. We had people giving us, I'm trying to think who. We had like consultants.
Yeah.
Well, Noel Musson,
No.
he came in and did some stuff. He came a couple times.
It also sounds like they don't want an inspection component in
No.
this. And,
Cause they were talking about, windows
Right.
and fire smoke detectors and radon
Yeah.
and all
Have them
this stuff.
outside, yeah.
And windows had to be a certain, and all this, and that just,
yeah, the board is
Blew 'em
pretty
right
clear
out of
they
the way.
don't want that.
Right.
It's- I mean, that could come down the road if you wanted to do that, you don't need to do that right away.
right? Yeah, well, I need new
Taking those
windows in
swimming.
Douglas's house, $64,000.
More
How's that
houses
many
been
need a
sold
new
in
roof?
their Airbnb, so.
I have a new roof before November, our insurance company will insure it, there's really nothing wrong with my roof.
Look for anything.
Yeah.
So, if you think of anything else, let me know, but I don't Put it on the list.
It looked like on this schedule here that you gave us, that the May 12th regular meeting is canceled because of,
You mean June?
June.
Yeah, the primary.
Yeah, okay.
But June 9th,
Right,
because of the
so-
primaries.
Yeah, there'll only be one meeting in June.
Here, don't forget to vote.
Should we set the date for the next meeting? Without Ben here, I'm not sure we're gonna be able
I don't think we can do it.
I told him, I said, well, I wasn't gonna vote for you for selectman, because I didn't want you
I
to
know,
leave,
yeah.
and I didn't know who the other guy was, so I had to vote for him. He'll do it.
I will move that we have the next meeting on June 23rd, 2026, if necessary, at 6 PM in the Harvey Kelly meeting room.
I'll second that.
First and second,
Third,
third, any discussion, all in favor? Motion adjourned.
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Second, any discussion, all in favor?
We got rid of short-term rentals.